Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of May I Scraplift You. Today I am combining it with Kit Conspiracy using just a few more leftovers from one of my kits. And this is the layout we're scraplifting from Tisa Brown Creates. It's actually what I chose to scraplift. A lot of people are choosing the same person but different layouts. There are a few people that are choosing different people as well. So I was really enjoying the movement of those wavy lines. And so I'm trying to recreate that on my layout, but I am turning it into a double page layout. So first off, I want to thank Tisa for the inspiration because it's a beautiful layout that she did there. So thank you for that. And thank you to Crystal Barrett, who hosts this series, and all of the work and effort she puts into this. So thank you for that, Crystal. This is a series we do all month long in the month of May. And I think Crystal and she has another small group of people that do this series monthly with her throughout the year as well. So my biggest challenge here was getting my lines to line up properly, to nestle into one another. You're going to see what I mean by that pretty quickly here. I have these photos with a bunch of kids in them. I don't know most of the kids in here. Perhaps I should have blocked out their faces. I'm not really 100% sure of that. But yeah. I could tell you the one in the blue shirt is my son, in like the blue non-scouty looking shirt. So this was a scout picnic, and this is from, I want to say 2005. Yeah, I think it's from 2005. So none of these kids are kids anymore, is basically the bottom line. So I'm not too concerned about that. Anyway, these lines just gave me such a hassle, you guys. I gotta tell you, I struggled with them. You can see those two nestle great together, but the two on the right hand side, they do not nestle great. When I swap them, they don't. I don't know. It was just a hot mess. So it took me quite a while to do this part. At the end of the day, I really should have just like done it on my Cameo instead of like trying to do it by hand, because it just didn't work. What I really need to do is take the top line, the bottom edge of the top line, and trace it to be the top line of the next piece of paper. Hopefully that made sense. Even tracing the exact same piece didn't work because the bottom line and the top line are different. I don't know if I'm explaining that well enough to be understood, but hopefully I am. So if you do a layout like this, I highly recommend just use like your cutting machine to do it, or if you're going to do it by hand, use the bottom cut edge of the line above to create the top line of the line below, because that would have helped a lot. And that's what I ended up doing at the end of the day because I really struggled. So yeah. It makes for interesting viewing, though, watching me kind of mess up, right? We don't always have it easy, right? You know, just because I have a YouTube channel doesn't mean it always comes easy to me. Hopefully, you guys see that. I try to leave some of these goofy moments in of when I'm really struggling. I try to be transparent with you on that. And then I decided to put a white piece in, and yeah, it's just going to keep going on and on. I don't know that I make you sit through watching all of it. I did want you to see kind of how I created the line by overlapping the line above it to the next one. So you're going to see that here pretty quickly. Boy, this video could have been a lot shorter if I just cut all of that out and made it look like I knew what the heck I was doing, and voila, there, I've got all these lines that all match up. See, it doesn't work. It doesn't line up. Yeah. So see, look, now you're thinking, Janet. There you go. it's going to work now because I'm just tracing that line and I'm going to cut it off, and now it's going to work great. That's what I needed to do in the first place. But no, I didn't do that. So it took me a lot longer. And yeah, my line's a little bit wonky. It's a little narrower in the middle, but that's okay. I don't mind. And you know what? At the end of the day, a lot of this is going to get cut up and not going to not cut up. It's going to be covered up by photos, and it's not even going to matter. But I didn't know exactly where my photos were going when I did this, so I wasn't sure what spot was exactly going to show. And you want to make it right from the bottom. And in fact, you don't see hardly any of this football paper that I'm using. You only see it on the right-hand page when everything is said and done. Okay, so I'm going to cut off all of the excess paper that is hanging off the edges, clean it all up, and get it ready to go. So I now have my layout done. I also took it over to my sewing machine and I stitched some brown thread through there. But then my sewing machine messed up. Not like messed up, like it won't sew for some reason. Like I can put no paper in there and it runs fine, but as soon as I try and put the foot down and have it work, it doesn't work. So it is now taking a little visit to my mom's house because she knows sewing machines way better than I do, and she's going to try and take a look at it and see what the heck did I do to it. It's always something. This layout, like literally, I had 3 hours of video for this one layout because I forgot to hit the stop button while I was trying to do the sewing. Normally I just leave it on and it's only a couple of quick minutes, but because there were so many lines in here, it took a long time to do. And then when it jammed up, I just forgot to turn it off. And yeah, it was between the sewing and making the title. My video was 3 hours long before I sped it up a little bit and cut out all of the stuff that you really just didn't need to sit through. So you can thank me now for that. So I went through my binder of dies to work on the title, and I knew I want some big words. I want football to be really big, and I wanted ready to be really big. My title is Are You Ready for Some Football? But I wanted the spacing to be right. I thought I was going to use the font that I am using, that stitched font for ready. I thought I was going to use that for football, but it was too wide. And surprisingly, these taller letters that I'm going to use for the word football, they end up being more narrow than those shorter ones. So play around with your dies. If you have font dies, play around with them and see what fits where the best. And don't be afraid to like mix and match fonts in your titles. It actually adds for great interest, and it's a lot of fun. Some words you want more emphasis on, like the word football. I wanted much more emphasis than anything else, so I'm happier that it's taller and bold. And then I pulled out these little tiny dies from Paper Rose for the "Are you for some" words, because I didn't need those to be so big, and they are they're bold enough to be seen on the page, especially in this yellow font or yellow paper that I chose to use. But they didn't have to be big. You can still see them, and it makes the title look kind of interesting. At least it does in my opinion. So hopefully you enjoy it as well. I really love interesting titles or interesting looking titles. I think it adds a lot to the layout. It actually almost takes the place of some embellishments because it's just so interesting or pleasing to the eye. So then I went to my bin of yellow items and pulled out several things. I pulled out this piece that says sunshine equals happiness. I'm going to use that on this layout for sure. They are out in the sun playing football. They're playing flag football. It's not full-on football or anything. And I'm just inking everything up in some black soot distress ink to kind of make it pop a little bit. And I am going to put some foam tape under that as well. I'm just going to play around with the placement of different things. I really liked this red camera. It's like the same color of red as the stripes in the background. It's kind of like that, almost leaning towards the salmon color peachy pinky red, and I like the way that it looks. So it's also kind of a big camera, so it fit really well on a double page. Sometimes I feel like the embellishments are maybe a little bit big for a single page. It would be okay for the base of a cluster, embellishment cluster, but here it didn't really, like, it looks fine on the page. It's a good size. And then I had this little chipboard piece that I thought I would string some string through, some twine, and wrap it around my photo just to give some added interest. And it says remember on it, but the yellow is a good yellow. I am pulling in, like, the piece that says sunshine and happiness is a little bit brighter than the other pieces, but they're the same tone. So I think it works okay. I'm just kind of playing around with this piece here, trying to figure out how to get it to work the best. I'm going to use some washi tape on the back to hold those strings in place once I get them where I want them. And I'm probably, stringing these things is not my forte, like anything that has to do with string and ribbon. So it probably takes me longer to do that than most people. I'm just fiddling around with it. I also needed to put a little bit of foam tape under it. It had foam tape under it, but it was really thick, and I had peeled it off. So I put some really thin foam tape under it so that it laid nice and flat. Because with the strings underneath it, it was kind of like wonky. So now it is all nice and flat, and I'm much happier with the way that it's looking. This little piece of paper, it's not even really a sticker, but I'm just using it as a label underneath the photo there with that little yellow oval right over it. I'm liking how that's looking. The other half of it I'm going to put by the camera there. And while I go ahead and add some little word stickers, don't forget to go and check out everyone else who is playing along with May I Scraplift You. And this is another bonus layout for Kit Conspiracy. I am using my kit papers in the background. I think this is probably going to be my final one. The rest of them are all 12 by 12 like wood grain or brick work looking, and I'm not going to force myself to use those. I'll just put them in with my other papers that have wood grains and such, and use them as I see fit. So they can be used throughout any collection. I don't feel like they are specific to the collection we used for Kit Conspiracy. So I feel like it's okay to go ahead and do that. I did use up all of the stuff from the Mountain Trek collection, and I don't have any 12 by 12 left from Simple Stories or from what I had in my Vicky Bouton collection, or Kit Conspiracy kit. I have a lot more Vicky Bouton, but we did not pull in everything because we only pulled in what we both had the same. So I think I had a lot more of the Vicky Bouton paper than MK did. So I still have a lot of Vicky Bouton left, but nothing in common with what MK had. Anyway, back to this layout. I went back to that brown paper that has the footballs on it, and I fussy cut out some footballs and decided to pull those into my little embellishment areas to just bring in more of that football theme. And I like the way that that's looking. I'm kind of keeping this one simple with regard to the embellishments because I had so much struggle on the background. Honestly, like, I didn't think it needed a whole lot more. The background's kind of interesting. It's kind of reminds me of like when the football is flying through the air and it hits its peak and it's coming back down to be caught. It is, it actually almost looks like the girl who is in the very first photo threw the ball, and it is coming down across the layout from the top left to the bottom right. And so I'm kind of just playing on that. And then I did remember I need to cut my photo in half here because that one photo does span the difference. And I did have to carefully consider where that photo went because I didn't want to cut a kid in half. And then I cut some 1/4 inch wide strips of paper to be my journaling spot. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue those down. I'm not going to write anything on them because a lot of these scouty type things, I want to reference my husband's brain, because he was way more active in these events than I was. In fact, he's in the photos. He's in the orange or the yellowy orange shirt in the 2 photos. And so I will reference his brain for the journaling because he will certainly have more things to say about it than I do. That is it for this layout. Again, don't forget to check out what everyone else is doing for May I Scraplift You. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below, and hit that thumbs up button if you don't mind. I will include links down below to anything that I have used in this layout that is still available. Thank you again for watching. I will see you guys again tomorrow with another layout, and we will be scraplifting someone different. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well, and you can hit the bell notification next to that, and you'll get notifications every time I put a new video up. Take care, you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.